Well, I have in the new Razer Ouroboros, which is, to me, just kind of a very strange product from Razer. I was actually looking forward to this for a long time. It's been really tough to find, and on eBay the thing's going for like 200 bucks. Mainly because the supply is just horrible. It's always sold out. So finally got my hands on it, and gotta say I'm completely disappointed. I guess this is going to be a real review of the product. It's just my opinion of it, because there are some specific issues why I didn't like this, and they're all completely personal issues. So don't let my opinion kind of sway you, because there are some good points, but maybe by the time I'm done talking about it, you'll see where I'm coming from, and it'll help you decide if you want to spend the money, because it's hard to find and it's expensive. 130 bucks at best right now, but anywhere up to 200 on Amazon, or on eBay. So just the quick unboxing, because I've already kind of played around with it. The packaging is just incredibly awesome. It's a typical Razer always does a good job, but I think they even went a little above and beyond with this one, sort of like the Mamba, but even better than the Mamba. It's of course a wireless mouse, but just so you know right off the bat, it is wireless and wired. You are able to plug the wire in, just like the other wireless mice from Razer. So taking off there is just this weird tab that releases it, and that releases the mouse, which is gigantic, and of course looks like freaking Batwing. So let's just set that aside really quick. As far as packaging, you get your typical propaganda, typical stuff from Razer. I kind of think that's a cool logo. That's what an Ouroboros is a snake eating its own tail, because I guess they do that sometimes. I don't know. Lots of crap here. I'm not going to go through it. Kind of typical products, things like that. Inside, you get the wireless cable, which is a USB, really nice braided cable, and the gold tip USB with a little cap. I mean, everything kind of screams high end. I'm not going to take that out because it's a pain in the ass to get back in there. And two of the alternate side grips, which I'll get to in a minute. And then, of course, this runs on a rechargeable AA battery, which Razer has in there. They tried to match their green, but didn't quite get it, but kind of cool. As far as where the battery goes, let's see if I can figure this out. It's been a while. I used it briefly, and now I already forget where everything is. But as far as let's start with adjustability. The mouse, I think they're trying to compete with the Cyborg R.A.T series. It's definitely the closest competitor, and I think Razer tried to fill that niche also, with like adjustability and kind of a bigger mouse. The thing that they added was it's ambidextrous. So left and right handers can both use it, of course. And honestly, I think that's where the value comes in. Is if you're a left-hander, I think I'd recommend it to you more than a right-hander. But so as far as this goes, this is adjustable in length. I mean, look how long that thing can get. I mean, I've got big hands. Look at that. It's actually, it's bigger than what I would ever need. And using that just feels like you're holding a freaking grenade or something. I don't know. It's like gigantic, too big at its full setting, even for my big hands. That was one of the reasons I got it, is because it's so big. So as far as the battery, it goes in this little compartment. You just shoot that right down in there. It's pretty nice. But that is one thing that irritates me about this and the R.A.T series, is that though they're adjustable, which is good and stuff, but they tend, like this one rocks. It rocks a little bit on full setting, depending on, well, actually it feels pretty good, but I noticed when I was playing, every once in a while it would rock a little bit, like just because of all the settings. I mean, you could see the feet here. There's just a massive amount of surface for Teflon. So it does have I have to admit, it has a really nice glide, but to me, personal opinion, it's just so freaking cumbersome because it's so gigantic that I found myself like my gameplay was slowing down. I kind of started to suck even more than usual. So again, or more on customization, let's put that back in. The side grips come out just like this, and you can replace them with both of these. Now at that point, I don't understand why you would want this mouse, because this is what you get. You put the other one here, and you get this kind of boring, just, I don't know what it is, mouse. It's just boring, and your grip doesn't even quite work right. I think maybe more for a claw grip, but I just don't see the point. You know, the appeal of this, of course, is that you get to have a tray for your pinky, so your pinky won't drag on the desktop, which is really nice. You know, it feels pretty good like that. And if you were to put the other one here, it makes for a lean mouse, though it does look kind of strange. These go in with really nice magnets. It's so, I mean, you can even see how easy it is. The magnets are strong enough that I just let go and it latches right on. It's, I mean, it's pretty cool how that's done. And really, you know, I can't complain as far as build quality. It's probably one of the stronger built mice, even though it's modular. These modular pieces kind of give it a cheap feel. It's like you can't help it. This is really good plastic, really sturdy, but it's just kind of rickety. So okay, the other cool feature is each side panel acts as a button. So say if I want to use it as a clutch for my DPI to make it, you know, precision aiming, like a sniper button, I can just push in right there, and that's unlocked down here. So you have the option of locking it so it's solid, or unlocking it so you can push. Now, I thought that was awesome until I started playing, because look, what they put is the two buttons here on each side line up right with when you have to have a counter grip, right, to grip that. It's just impossible. You have to hold it so awkwardly to push one of these in without mashing these buttons. I mean, so your only choice is to disable the two on the opposite side. So I would disable these two just so I could use the zoom, but the feeling that I'm mashing buttons over here, it never went away. I couldn't, I mean, no matter what, I am pushing that with the inside of my pinky, and that was probably the biggest deal breaker for me. Like, it ate away at me and it drove me nuts, but I think the idea is cool of making these pressable. I mean, I think that's great. And I guess, you know, you could get used to it. Maybe it works better if you do the other side, which I don't think it does at all. But that was just another, I mean, it's just a complaint. And then as far as grip itself, I mean, it does feel good in the right hand. I mean, it feels fine. It's got a, I mean, it is pretty ergonomic considering it's so adjustable, but to me it just felt like too much. It was so big, and if you check, it's very high off the ground. Like this, you know, it just sits really high, so you feel like your hand is really raised above the surface, and that kind of heavy, just overall heavy feeling, that it was just unruly. Like I mean, for first-person shooters, I just felt like I couldn't get the accuracy out of it that I was hoping for. And plus, you know, this is an 8200 DPI laser, which it's got a really good dual system. You know, it's got a lot of Razer's new high-end mice have the dual sensors, and I can't complain. It was really accurate, you know, but since it was such a big mouse, I had a really hard time feeling like it was right. It just didn't feel right. Though it was accurate, it was a very strange type of tracking. I can't quite say if it was lag or what, but it was something that kind of bothered me. Mouse wheel is awesome. It's got a really nice push to it, really steady. It's not left and right, so just your normal mouse, but it's got these little ridges, and it's a really kind of heavy-duty rubber. So not bad there. DPI settings here, and then you do get the green lighting, which kind of indicates your battery level. And style, it's made hand in hand with the new Orb Weaver, very similar stylings. So with these strange vents and kind of this more aggressive angles and things like that. So another cool feature as far as adjustability is the back goes up or down. So it actually feels pretty good all the way down. If you say you're going to pull it back, so it kind of slopes to your hand. It doesn't look like it makes a big difference, but it does make a pretty big difference in the feel of the mouse, based on that sort of thing. This edge is pretty sharp. I wish it was rounded. That was one thing that kind of, you can always feel it in the back. But that's pretty much it for customization. You got the up down, you have the side panels that you can switch out, and then you have the back and forth on this. There's no weight system to it. It's right out of the box. I mean, it's a pretty heavy mouse. You know, it's quite a bit heavier than the Death Adder, and I'll just do this for a size comparison. Now you can see that we have, Death Adder is considered a pretty large-ish mouse. I kind of think it's more medium, but you could see the length here, and this is at the smallest setting. Okay, and at the biggest setting, it goes, you know, it's even deeper, longer than the deeper and longer than the Death Adder. So you get, you know, can get pretty small mouse to a really big mouse, but overall, it's just a strange thing. It's, you know, the Death Adder gets just as high, but it slopes down, so you have a natural curve. This one doesn't really slope down. It's just, it's very high at the front, so it's another kind of complaint. Now, I think people that this is really going to appeal to are left-handers who, you know, say if you have a really huge left hand, or, you know, both hands hopefully are the same size, but the left-handers are going to appeal or get more out of this than right-handers, I think. I think with right-handers, you have too many options out there. I would, like the MMO7, the R.A.T style, I prefer that over this, especially the MMO7 version, which I think is a really, really nice mouse for, you know, role-playing games, MMOs and stuff. This is just, there's too many options for right-handers out there, but for left, I think it would be great. It's a great option. It's a very high-end mouse. I can't personally think it's worth the money, so I'm actually selling this on eBay. Anything else I can think of? Clicking is really, really nice. I think it's those really high-end mechanical clicks here, just really super, super nice and responsive. Kind of like the perfect kind of resistance. But other than that, I think that kind of covers it. If you have any questions, of course, leave it in the comments, and be sure to subscribe. Quick thing I forgot to show you guys is the actual stand, which is kind of funny because it's in here, it's well hidden. Just pop that out here. They have it really well packaged in there. You have to peel this weird stuff off, and then the stand itself just pops right out. Now the stand itself kind of has this matching finish. The finish of the mouse is a very nice quality plastic, nothing glossy, nothing rubberized, just straight up really high-end plastic. And you get the rubber grip here that kind of, it's actually it's a lot like their bungee. It's sticky, so that actually sticks to your desktop. So it's pretty nice. And then, oh, that was actually one of the big complaints why I wasn't so crazy about the mouse. I hate this stand. All you have are these little buttons, these little holes where you have to align them with that thing, and you know, that went on really easy, but most of the time I found myself kind of not having a good time getting this on there. It's not you can see, look, I mean, right now it's attached, and you can tell it's not exactly sturdy. It's a neat presentation, but I think the Naga has a better idea because you just sit it in the cradle. This one just kind of drove me nuts. So this is how you sync it, by pressing that, and it does have the matching green LED. The mouse does not let you select the color of the lighting, so that's a bummer. And again, surfaces match this kind of really nice non-slip plastic. Same thing here on the mouse cradle. And you get the horrible glossy fingerprint stuff on the side, which should not exist. Cable goes right there to charge. You can charge it that way, or if you run out of battery, you can plug the cable in right here, just similar to the Mamba and the other wireless mice, and then it becomes a wired version of the mouse, and it runs really well. Both versions claim 1,000 Hertz polling rate, So there's supposed to be no lag regardless of wired or wireless. So that's something I think that people are kind of wondering about. So just wanted to make sure I covered that, and thanks again.